Hello, this is Captain Padge and welcome to a brand new Let's Play on the channel by the name of Sunless Skies Sovereign Edition by Fail Better Games. Now, if you have been a long-term viewer of the channel, you will know that I have a little bit of a soft spot for Sunless Sea, the original game by Fail Better Games. Big mouthful there. And it's very enjoyable, very story-centric, very big on the reading, but love the atmosphere, love the world that was within, and very much looking forward to bringing this to the channel too. It's I believe it's a slightly easier version of Sunless Skies as far as getting Sunless Seas as far as getting into it is concerned. It's the penalty for dying isn't necessarily as big, which means you're not repeating a lot of stuff on a new captain, which is a good thing to hear, because that's my one big gripe with the original game. It was very time consuming to get back to a point where you were exploring new things once you played it a few times. So looking forward to jump into this. This is as far as I've seen so far. Haven't gone any further with the game. As I said, I'm pretty savvy to the original game Sunless Sea, so I'm hoping I can jump in. I believe the keys are around about the same sort of thing. So without further ado, let's crack on. Now I will just say I am going to be recording in 30-minute sections. Now, the one big quibble I had in comments was when it came to the getting around within the world, there were parts which were pretty boring. What I'm planning on doing is cutting it down. So I'm going to record in 30-minute segments, but you might only see 20-25 minutes of where I'm just traveling around in the nothingness and nothing's happening. So just so you know. So begin a new game. If you die, you can only continue with a new captain, or if you die, you can reload or continue with a new captain. You know what? We're going to play it as we always have done. Legacy. Aiming assistance. Only a few player weapons are towards targets. Only a few player weapons are towards targets. No. Enemy projectile speed. Enemy projectiles move at a default speed. Oh, okay. Stately. Enemy projectiles are significantly slower, making it easier to avoid them. We're going to keep it as standard. Supply consumption. These are all nice quality of life improvements, so you can make it as difficult or as easy as you want, which is good. Tools and supplies last longer. Fantastic. So if you just want to play the game for the story, you've got the opportunity to do so within the difficulty, which is very good to see. I'm keeping it all as standard for the time being though. Here we go. Lots of reading, I will forewarn you. I know I've said that already, but when planning a journey, check your chart for stations that sell supplies and fuel, and that's as much as it's going to let me know. Who knows how that sentence is going to end. Log of Her Majesty's locomotive, the Orphean, March 14th, 1905. Our expedition to the domains of the dead has been eventful. The Orphean is damaged and in grievous need of repairs and supplies. We are returning in haste to the Reach, where I hope to make port at New Winchester. May God be with us, for 1,000 deaths wait in the sky. Final entry of Captain Amelia Charity Whitlock, DCM, written shortly before her death. Guess she didn't make it then. That's my big assumption there. As I said, Fail Better Games present. And here we are. Welcome to Sunless Skies. So I'm guessing this is going to be a tutorial. I can't remember there being much of a tutorial. Oh, nice. I can't remember there being much of a tutorial in the original game. But hey ho, never mind. We learnt. You've returned to the Reach, an untamed sunless span of the heavens, London's new frontier, a celestial garden run wild. Oh, we've done the whole dodging thing already. It's cool. Good to see. Your journey back from the Blue Kingdom was tumultuous. Tumultuous? Tumultuous. Your locomotive is damaged and Captain Whitlock badly wounded. Nosy, nosy. As first officer, the crew look to you. The nearest station is New Winchester. Can you get the Orphean to there safely? Toggle cruise control. Nice! Cruise control. Don't know if I like that. I think I prefer doing it myself. And we can scavenge too. Much to the relief of your stokers, you find a barrel of fuel among the detritus. Ooh. They didn't do very well. The Ozymandias. A wreck drifts here, less fortunate even than you. We should scavenge for repairs, Crewman suggests. Oh, and we can crash into it. Good to note. The wreck hangs in the sky, pocked with recent gunfire. You and the boarding party don your sky suits, garments of waxed canvas lined with felt to protect against the cold of the sky. Two of the crew are whispering as they dress. What business did Captain Whitlock have in the Blue Kingdom anyway? Why the devil did we trespass on the District of the Dead? You silence him. Now's not the time. Leap across to the wreck. The gap between the two engines isn't wide, but the endless fathoms of heaven gape beneath it. Guess we've only got the one option here. You jump. Your stomach lurches with vertigo as the stars blaze above you and below. The air of the heavens is thin and torn by unpredictable winds. Then your boots hit the running board of the Ozymandias, and your leather-gloved hands fumble for a hold. One of your companions throw you a line, and you lash the two engines together. Only then do the rest of the boarding party follow you. One of them forces open an exterior hatch, and you clamber inside. Her interior is cold, unlit, and whistles with wind. Your party's lamps spread buttery light over the narrow panelled passages. You make your way towards the hold, stepping over bodies crumpled in the corridor. Unfortunately, your way is blocked. A bulkhead has been mangled inward by a well-aimed barrage. So we can clear the obstruction way, or we can lead your party on a more precarious path. Well, what's this then? This will test your iron skill. Oh, iron! And we have veils here too. Well, 75 to 75. I mean, do we do it with strength or do we do it with guile? Ooh, we're gonna exit though. Exit the vehicle. What do you call it? It's a train technically. Sky train. You exit the sky train, or you push past. You know, we're gonna push past it. Oh, or not. As you strain against the stubborn steel, you remember an event from a year ago. A boiler explosion had trapped an engineer beneath a tangle of plating and pipework. The captain was first on the scene. You were second. Together you pried the wreckage upwards enough for you to crawl beneath it, while the captain braced the bar up across her back. By all means take your time, she grunted, as you dragged the engineer out. Back in the present, the twisted bulkhead yields suddenly. A crewman cries out as its jagged edge bites him. You order him taken back to the Orphean, while the rest of your crew press on. The way is clear. So we've lost a crew. Okay, that's fine. You've reached the Ozymandias hold, a ruin of smashed cargo and spilled supplies. Hopefully somewhere amidst the detritus you can find parts to repair the Orphean and restore your stores, or restock your stores. Your companions work quickly. The Ozymandias' hull has begun to creak. Your actions on board may have compromised its integrity. Okay. Well, we can only do thorough. You find enough food and gear to restock your supplies, and enough spare parts to make necessary repairs to the Orphean. The food will need to be thoroughly thawed, of course, but you've eaten worse than the skies. "Ho ho!" cries one of your party, prying the lid off a long crate. It holds a cannon, still nestled in straw. Another crewman pulls a battered birdcage from a pile of ruined cargo. Within the cage, something winged and furred opens a sullen eye. You examine your finds. Okay. The Ozymandias emits a long, juddering creak. Your boarding party exchanged nervous glances. From the chaos of its hold, you have retrieved pet repairs and supplies, and discovered some useful equipment. A gun that can be mounted on your locomotive, and an educated bat. So, right, we can mount the Jerusalem cannon on the Orphean, or liberate a diffident bant and employ it as a scout. I mean, do we have a cannon? I didn't really make out a cannon. Oh, you can claim them both anyway, so let's claim them both. So, cannon first. The Cotterell and Haphazard Jerusalem fire single shells to a good range, more or less accurately. You order two of your party to get it back to your vessel and fit it immediately. The Ozymandias groans, the structure shudders spasmodically. Cool. And give me the bat too. The bat treats its rescue as an inconvenience and immediately begins haggling over pay. You offer to put it back in its damn cage and leave it on the Ozymandias, at which point it becomes more polite. You doubt it will last. Cool, so we have a diffident bat. The Ozymandias emits a long, juddering creak. Your boarding party exchange nervous glances. From the chaos of its hold, you have retrieved repairs and supplies, and discovered some useful equipment. A gun that could be mounted on your locomotive, and an educated bat. Just read that twice, haven't I? Right, so we can... Ooh. This is not without risk. You might find more fuel here, but you'd better hurry. The Ozymandias is beginning to tear apart. You know what? I'm all for it. The wreck of the Ozymandias screeches at it as its metal buckles and tears. You press on through the shuddering corridors, searching frantically for the engine room. So we can do a hearts check, which is 50, or a mirrors check, which is 50 as well. Or we can go home. You know what? I think it is foolish for me to go, simply because I am the second in command and the captain's already hit, so let's send them. Oh. Oh well. No one is keen to go alone. In the end, you have to rely on drawing lots. The two members of the party with the shortest straws pale and make their cautious way towards the engine room. The rest of you return to the Orphean and wait their return. And wait. And wait. Too late. With a dying groan, the Ozymandias buckles and splits in half, the two ends spiralling in different directions into the sky. The two crew that were still aboard are lost. Solemnly, you stoke your engines and steam away, restocked and rearmed, but fewer. Osy nosy. Alright, well, hey ho, never mind. These things happen. I'm going to have to reverse a little bit. Alright. Onwards and upwards. Well, we're upwards already. Onwards. Press F to send out your scout, and it costs supplies. So we've got 4 supplies at the moment, so let's send the scout out. Oh, okay, so it's just a smidge of our supplies, which is good to note. Your scout has discovered something. To see what it is, open your chart. We have found something here. Oh, summoned by Captain Whitlock. The walls of the captain's cabin are lined with a hodgepodge of curios from across the sky. Captain Whitlock lies in bed. Black marks cover her skin like a monstrous brand. When she coughs, coils of acrid smoke pour from her lungs. Right, so we can inquire after the captain's injuries or approach the bedside. You know what? It doesn't matter about the injuries. We know what's going on. She's a goner. She is kaput. So let's just go to her bedside. Her mouth is blistered from the blue fires that dance on her tongue. Her hand grips your arm. Her skin is hot as a kettle. Made arrangements. The Orphean will be yours. Her voice is just a rasp of burnt meat breath. But promise. Breaks off to scream a word in a language that was not made for human mouths. When she resumes speaking English, she is weaker. Her request little more than a gasp. Promise me one last service. Promise. So we can promise her we will obey her last command. Tell her to rest. Pull away. Or demand to know why she took the Orphean to the Blue Kingdom. It's not one's place to question the captain, so I'm gonna promise her that we're gonna be loyal to the end. She sinks back relieved. All in my will, she gasps. Be a better. She breaks off as the sigils burned into her bones flare, glowing cherry red through her flesh and skin. Better captain than I. The effort exhausts her. She sinks back into the scorched pillows and a twisting, frantic fever. Well, I'll give it my best shot. No promises. No promises. The walls of the captain's cabin are lined. Oh, we've read that bit right, so let's leave. You leave the cabin and the scorched stink of its air behind and return to the bridge. New Winchester is further than you'd like, and the captain hasn't long left. Oh, lordy. Who are you? Reach Marauder? I mean, you can't get me, can you? Oh, missed you. Eyes be overheating. Reverse! Reverse! Oh, he's on fire. It's good for us. How are you getting, sunshine? Oh! Oh, I'm terrible. Excuse me. Hey! Oh. Hey! Excuse me a second. Overexcited. You prepare to board the buckled wreckage, poised to plunder the plunderers. Behind you, someone is humming a song of victory. So we can raid the remains. Marauders pillage homesteads and hunt travellers all across the reach. They often carry stolen valuables. Or we can scavenge the Marauders' plating and components to repair the damaged Orphean. Well, our health isn't that bad, so I'm going to go for raiding the remains. Your boarding party returns with wallets and watches, cufflinks, lockets and keepsakes. You store them in the safe to be pawned when, if, you make it back to port. 42 sovereigns. Hey ho. Right, so, that'll be that done. First fire. First shot. Where are we going? We're going in this direction. What's up here? Bancroft's Forum. Experience for that. And we're guessing this is where we needed to be. This is the station. Now what be you? Kara. Okay. We can dock up. Oh, it's New Winchester. Hooray! You coast into the bustle, the din, the soot and the steam of Wolvesby Station. It is clogged with other engines, scrapping mining locomotives from Lustrum Way, weathered explorers gleaming with frost, sleek company vessels with bright brass fittings. No sooner have you pulled into the sidings than a brusque station master bustles over. He requests to come aboard. I must speak with your captain, he insists, brandishing a ledger. The usual formalities. He has just appeared at your shoulder. His face is solemn, his hat is in his hands. He lowers his eyes. I think the captain is no more. The crew exchange bleak, wordless looks. The Orphean itself feels suddenly more empty. The station master looks confused. You inform him that unfortunately Captain Whitlock has just passed. Ah, he says neutrally. Sorry to hear that. Very sad, very sad. He waits for what he considers an appropriate minute and a half before continuing. Alas, even amidst tragedy, the cogs of bureaucracy must turn. If Captain Whitlock is deceased, the station authority require their answers from the first officer. He dons a set of spectacles and locates his pen. It will be relatively painless. Name, background, purpose of visit, etc. Shall we begin? I guess we shall. Right, so today, London lies between the stars. Her new empire unfolds across the heavens. But 10 years ago, before the Northern Gate was opened, before the renewed Empress led her people into the skies, it lay in a vast cavern far beneath the earth. Deep, dark, marvellous. Who were you then? So I presume he's talking about Sunless Sea. So this is 10 years into the future. Cool. So we can be a street urchin. No parents, no laws, no masters, but also no roof over your head. No money and often no dinner. Freedom comes at a price. So we'll have high veils, the skill of evading and deceiving. Or we can be a soldier. Yours was not to reason why. Yours was but to do and die. We'll begin with high iron, the skill of confronting and overcoming. Or a poet. The pen, the ink, the blank, monstrous page. We'll begin with high hearts, the skill of convincing and enduring. Or we can be an academic, a student of the sciences, the arts of philosophy. We'll begin with high mirrors, the skill of investigating and deducing. Wow, there's loads. A priest, hymns and hymnals, Sundays and sermons. We'll begin with high hearts, the skill of convincing and enduring. Or a sailor. You rove the mournful, merciless waters of the Untersee. You will begin with high iron, the skill of confronting and overcoming. Ministry auditor. For a time you served at the Ministry of Public Decency, which has become Her Majesty's preferred instrument. You begin with high mirrors, the skill of investigating and deducing. Or a revolutionary. The world is broken. One way for the rich, another for the poor. You decided to do something about it. And begin with high veils. You know what? Because I am a big fan of Sunless Sea, we're going to be a sailor. You remember bats winging across the still black sea, the distant lights of London calling your home. Salty prayers offered to heedless gods. It was a hard life and often a short one, but you made your mark. What were you known for? So we a smuggler? Her Majesty's Navy had a great many opinions on what should and shouldn't be sold in her territories. Your own opinions were rather different. You get veils for that. And affiliates you with villainy. Ooh. You explored? Yours were far lonely journeys. You endured nameless hardships. You rallied your crew in the face of utmost uncertainty. That's an increase in hearts. With an affiliates with the Academe, should I say? You bought and sold. You were a merchant. A precarious life lived on the knife edge between fortune and ruin. That increases our mirrors. Affiliates us with the Bohemia. I feel like this is a really big decision. I'm going to go with exploring, I think. Yes. What does winning mean to you? Wealth. You want a comfortable retirement, and by comfortable you mean extravagant. Many have made their fortunes out among the stars. Many more have failed, broken and lost in the drifting night. Will you be different? To win, gather a substantial retirement fund, acquire lodgings at a hub port and retire. Or we have fame. You will immortalise your exploits in the song of the sky. For centuries people have launched themselves into the unknown in the hope of making a name for themselves. You're sure you'll succeed. After all, you never heard of anyone who didn't. We have stories of your exploits and write about them in New Winchester. Or we have the truth. Even the stars have secrets, but they won't keep them from you. A message from an old friend begins an unwise quest to learn a secret that the stars hide. What drives you? Curiosity? Justice? Insolence? Whatever it is, it will be tested. Be warned, this is a demanding ambition, best played by a lineage that has already completed wealth or fame. Well, you know what then? Health. Well, I mean wealth. Wealth. We're going with wealth. Right, so. What are we going to look like? Let's... Oh. Got any dainty... Oh. We can have no hats. Right, so. There's no hat 1. Straight to hat 2. I like hat 3. That's the captain's hat. Yeah, we're going to go with the captain's hat. Hair-wise. Oh, looking like a silhouette of Captain Birdseye. Looks good. Brow? Oh, okay. 9. 10's pretty cool. 11's better. Are we wearing glasses there? The big nose. We need a smaller nose. More stubborn. Oh. Nose 1 is good. Chin? Oh. Are we wanting a beard? Oh, just the one beard. Okay, I'll have the beard. An outfit? I think I'm going for the whole sailor Captain Birdseye look here. So, oh, that's good. I like that. Term of address. Intendant. This will determine what people call your captain. Your captain's gender is up to you. Nurse, comrade, brother, sister, reverend, sir, citizen, captain, my lord. I'm sorry, I'm going to be old school here. Captain Padge. Oh, no, that's Page. Captain Padge. There we go. Cool. So that's our captain. So we've got 25 iron, 17 hearts, 10 mirrors, and 10 veils. So we'll have to work on those. We can't see too well. We can't hide too well. But by God, can we hit? By God, can we hit? Let's do this. 3 weeks have passed. This morning, Captain Whitlock received a simple memorial service. Her body was consigned to a necropolis train bound for the Serene Mausoleum. Now you sit, with a handful of her relatives, in the threadbare offices of her solicitors. A methodical notary is reading her the will. The captain was wealthy once, but squandered her capital on the mysterious expenses before her expedition to the Blue Kingdom. So, well, we'll listen to the end. The captain's relatives, from whom she was mostly estranged, are clearly wondering why you were here. In a final codicil, the notary announces, Captain Whitlock confirmed the possession of the Orphean was to pass to its first officer. He peers at you with dry grey eyes. This includes a certain black box contained in the Orphean's hold. Captain Whitlock's final request was that, at a time of your choosing, you transport said box to an address in London. He hands you an address card and deposit it in there. You're not to look inside. He gave no explanation. And that's it. You're captain now. The Orphean is yours. So, Captain Whitlock's legacy. You can investigate the black box at New Winchester. So we can take it to London as requested, or we can sell it and be done. And we've been bequeathed a large black box which once belonged to Captain Whitlock. And we've got 142 sovereigns. Money, money, money. You know what? We are going to honour her final wishes. So we'll get to London at some point. I have no idea where it is. The clamouring central station of New Winchester. A place of steam and smut and thundering iron. Here you can find people willing to pay for a skilled captain's service. So we can recruit the incautious driver. I specialise in test driving, but I'm looking for something quieter. I think, well, in Sunless Sea, I took on whatever officers wanted to come along whenever they wanted to come. So let's take him on. Is this going to cost me money? The drive indicates a crashed engine still smoking. Like that without the screaming. Officers require a sign-on fee. 20. What harm can it do? This will get you a chief engineer who will increase your iron by 6, your hearts by 2, and your affiliation establishment by 1. Why not? The driver boards, eager to get started. I recently parted ways with the Windward Company, they explain. Personally, I think a crash a week isn't so bad. They disagreed. Oh well, live and learn. Cool. Got our first officer. Fantastic. So, we've only got 5 crew out of 10, so let's hire some crew next. Your voyages have grown perilous of late. Numbers and morale are lower than they were. Today, New Winchester is abuzz with rumour. A famous tackety captain has turned tail and fled to London, promised a generous pension and a full pardon in exchange for selling secrets. His crew are at a loose end and under a cloud of suspicion. Will they ever find work again? Buy some of the turncoats' crew as replacements. No one else will have them. For the cost of a round of the promise of days, they're yours. How much is this? 10. Yeah, we'll do it. Initially, the crew members are suspicious. They think you might be a journalist for the Gazette. Still, they're happy to drink on your coin, and as the night progresses, their reserve vanishes. When you arrive at your engine the next day to sign their papers, they come with headaches and nausea and the last of their things. They go to their berths, ready to make for the stars again. Fantastic. The crew quality is now 10. Fantastic. Full crew. That's what we like. In addition to the ordinary crew, you now have an officer or perhaps a mascot. Officers must be appointed before you can benefit from their skills, abilities, or animal charisma. The first officer you recruit for each role will automatically be appointed. To change officers, open the officers panel while in port. Thank you. Alright, so an opportunity. The fastidious inspector. What does he want? Excuse me, Captain. A woman pushes through the crowds towards you. She's short and square-shouldered in a neat black suit and polished shoes. She shows you the case of a pocket watch. It is embossed with the crown and hourglass of London's horological office, the body responsible for ensuring time is consistent throughout the empire. I'm hoping to book passage to Port Prosper, she says, slipping the watch away. I can, of course, pay. Well, pay does sound promising. Thank you. The locomotive I was on broke down following a boiler rupture. The chief engineer's fault, I suspect. A gentleman fonder of brandy than of diligence. Here, an initial sum to seal our bargain. Prosper lies to the northeast of New Winchester. Okie dokie. So pretty much back the way we came. So that's cool. Not that there is such a thing as north, south, east, or indeed west out here. Instead, London cartographers picked 4 of the brighter, more reliable stars visible from the Empress's new palace and named them north, east, south, and west. Londoners value familiarity. And we got 50 sovereigns for that. Super duper. So, let's repair the locomotive. How much is it going to cost to repair? 3? Yeah, we can do that. Fantastic. I mean, for 3 sovereigns, I might as well have full health. The engineers at the Wolseley yards claim they can repair anything. Oh no, we'll just leave. That's fine. Just leave. The smoggy, clanking, singing, stamping, thronging, frantic heart of the Reach, an ever-expanding port of soot, smudged glasses and bright steel spinning across a drifting, wrapped archipelago. Its factories thunder, its engines sheds ring with hammers and hiss with steam. Locomotives chug into sidings for repair, or flare across the sky and away into the high wilderness. Learn about trading. Successful skyfarers fund their expeditions by dabbling in trade. Inquire whether there are any good trading opportunities available. Okay, do that. A porter at the station advises you to visit the nearby pub. The promise of days and talk to the seasoned captains there. They keep their ears to the ground. They'll know about an opportunity or two. Okay. Guess we'll do that. The smoggy clanking sing. Oh, we'll do that bit. So visit the promise of days. Yes, we're going to go there. Old pistons gleam on the walls. The shelves are crowded with mementos from across the sky. The clientele raise their voices to be heard above the comforting clamour of the adjacent engine yards. So I shall introduce myself to the seasoned capitans. They're always happy to offer words of advice, sometimes many words. All are gathered at their usual table. The masked citizen, a libertine, polymath, and pioneer of the neo-nocturnal artistic school. The bedeviled diadect, a scholar haunted by his discoveries. The plucky baroness, explorer, collector, philanthropist, and spatchcocker Meg, who hunts monsters. Oh, old Meg. Of course, everything out here is jolly dangerous, says the baroness. You risk the skies, though news of distant ports is valued. Collect port reports from the places you visit and deliver them to the Victory Hall or Company House. The more you turn in at once, the more they'll pay. Look for other opportunities on the way, advised the masked citizen. Passengers who want transport, rich men in need of bloody work, etc. That's how to make your fortune through trade. Between them, they've carried Naravatine gemstones from Eluferia, souls to the Blue Kingdom, and raw hours to London. Have they tips? Ah, the Didac says, fiddling with his innumerable talismans. An essential topic. Meg slides you a stool, and the captains shuffle around to make room. The masked citizen buys you a drink of their own invention. It is violet and foggy. The plucky baroness gives you a risk-encouraging grin. Ask away. And there's a fair few things to ask here. Okay, so I am going to end the episode here. We are over half an hour now, so I think this will be a good time to finish. As you can see, we're still kind of going through the tutorial. I think what I'm going to do is read this off camera, and then we'll jump back into London at the start of the next episode, and then we should be able to crack on pretty quickly. So thank you for watching. As always, a like is appreciated, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take it easy.